It's just got a whole load worse for Meghan Markle because her sister Samantha ain't going anywhere.
Silence everybody and just produce a DNA sample.
Meghan, a geriatric mother. The family claims and states that Meghan had a hysterectomy. How can a woman with a hysterectomy be pregnant? And most of all, why did the royal family go along with this? And what's going to happen now that this has come out? This is a punishable crime. This is fraud in the highest levels.
I do believe because there are no delivery certificates.
What if the greatest royal romance of our generation was never what it seemed? Meghan Markle. The name alone ignites controversy.
In my opinion, she would still be a waitress if it wasn't for Dad.
Some see her as a revolutionary duchess who shattered traditions. Others, they see something far more calculated, a performance, a spectacle designed for maximum impact. But here's where it gets dark. What if the fairy tale you've been fed? What if the children, the titles, the tears on Oprah's couch? What if none of it happened the way you think?
Did you make Kate cry?
No, the reverse happened.
One woman claims she knows the truth, and she's not staying quiet anymore. This isn't just about tabloid drama or family feuds. This is about something that could shake the very foundation of the British monarchy.
And there's a very big difference. It was deliberate.
Something that makes every carefully staged photo, every emotional interview, every public appearance look like pieces of a puzzle you were never meant to solve.
When you have been lied about for a series of years, how hurtful that is.
Samantha Markle didn't just wake up one day and decide to destroy her sister's reputation. She watched, she waited. She collected the pieces of a puzzle the world wasn't supposed to solve.
People think her kids are fake. They think they're AI.
I'm going to quote Tom Bauer by saying, he said, look, we all laughed at Samantha and she was right. And everything she said has come true.
For years, she stayed relatively quiet while Meghan transformed from a cable TV actress into the Duchess of Sussex. She watched her sister become a global icon, featured on magazine covers, invited to speak at the United Nations, positioned as a voice for women's empowerment and social justice. But behind the scenes, Samantha saw something different. She saw a woman systematically rewriting her own history, erasing the people who didn't fit the new narrative, creating a backstory that was more fiction than fact. And then she said 5 words that broke the internet. Look at the timeline. That's it. No rant, no emotional breakdown, just a cold, calculated hint.
But if you look at this, Meghan Markle has been incredibly quiet about the birth, but mostly the pregnancy of these children. Everything has been shady. The one who's been blabbing and saying crazy things is Prince Harry.
The kind of statement someone makes when they know something, when they've got the receipts, when they're so confident in what they're saying that they don't need to shout it, they can whisper it and still be heard around the world. The world took her advice, and what they found, it didn't just raise eyebrows, it shattered illusions.
This scandal comes as no surprise. Speculation about the children has been simmering for years.
Meghan's rise from cable actress to British royalty was sold as organic, authentic. A woman of color breaking barriers in a centuries-old institution. A modern fairy tale for a modern age. Beautiful story, right? Except Samantha claims it was engineered from the beginning, that Meghan didn't stumble into royalty. She mapped it out like a military campaign. Every connection cultivated, every relationship strategized, every public moment choreographed for maximum emotional impact. And along the way, she erased everyone who didn't fit the narrative, including her own family. Her father, Thomas Markle, the man who paid for her private school education, who worked in Hollywood lighting to give her opportunities, suddenly became persona non grata, cast aside when he became inconvenient, when his working class background and messy personal life didn't match the polished image being sold to the world. Her disabled sister, ignored, dismissed, treated as if she never existed.
He said, I lost my father. We knew that she didn't lose our dad. She iced our father.
The messy, inconvenient parts of her past, rewritten like a script being punched up by Hollywood producers. But families have long memories. And Samantha, she wasn't about to let the world forget. She had watched her sister's transformation with a mix of fascination and horror. And when Meghan's public narrative started including claims about growing up with nothing, about being abandoned by her family, Samantha knew someone had to speak up. Because the version of Meghan Markle the world was seeing, it wasn't the whole story. So let's talk about what happens when you actually follow the timeline, when you stop accepting the carefully managed PR statements and start asking basic questions.
You had those things, it would be very easy just to put them out there and say, this is what happened. This is what it is.
Meghan announces she's pregnant. The world celebrates. A royal baby is coming. The first biracial child in the direct royal lineage. Cue the magazine covers, the glowing profiles, the carefully curated bump photos released at strategic intervals. But something's off. And it's not just one thing. It's a pattern. There are no hospital visits, no confirmations from doctors, no witnesses to the birth. The details are vague, suspiciously vague.
Doctor has come forward and has absolutely revealed, and you're going to listen to her. She has absolutely revealed and confirmed that Meghan Markle was never pregnant, never gave birth to any children.
For an institution that has historically documented every royal birth with meticulous detail, suddenly everything is shrouded in unprecedented secrecy. Previous royal births came with photo calls, hospital steps moments, official announcements with specific times and weights. But with Meghan, radio silence. Just a brief statement and a photo shoot days later. And then there's that video. You've probably seen it. Meghan sitting down during a public appearance, her belly appearing to collapse inward like it's not real. Like something you'd see in a movie when a prosthetic malfunctions. The internet exploded. Frame by frame analysis, slow motion replays, comparisons with other pregnant women. Optical illusion, her defenders screamed. Conspiracy theory, misogyny. How dare anyone question a woman's pregnancy? But the questions didn't stop, because it wasn't just that one video. There were photos where the size of her bump seemed to change dramatically between appearances just days apart. Instances where she appeared to be bending and moving in ways that women in their third trimester typically can't. Body language experts weighed in. Pregnancy specialists noticed inconsistencies. The more people looked, the stranger it seemed. Fast forward to 2021, pregnancy number 2. Same pattern, same secrecy, same perfectly timed announcements that dominate news cycles but offer zero transparency. No hospital, no staff sightings, just carefully managed PR and glossy photo shoots released through carefully selected friendly media outlets. People started digging deeper. Old rumors resurfaced, whispers about surgeries Meghan allegedly had years ago, the kind that would make natural pregnancy complicated, maybe impossible, medical records that could confirm or deny these rumors, sealed tighter than Fort Knox. Internet sleuths began connecting dots, screenshots of old interviews where Meghan made certain comments about her body, medical timelines that didn't quite sync up, fertility treatments that should have been mentioned but weren't. Samantha's cryptic warning suddenly felt less like pettiness and more like a roadmap to something hidden, a breadcrumb trail leading to a truth that powerful people desperately wanted to keep buried.
I like to say it, but I gotta say it. I don't know of anybody that cold to do this.
And then, out of nowhere, a woman steps forward who changes everything. She calls herself DL, not her real name. She's too scared for that. She claims powerful people want her silent. And given what she's saying, you can understand why anonymity feels necessary. But her story, it's explosive. The kind of allegation that, if true, would be the biggest royal scandal in modern history. She claims she's the woman who actually carried the royal children. That her body, not Meghan's, went through the pregnancies the world was told belonged to the Duchess of Sussex. Let that sink in for a moment. According to DL, she was bound by NDAs so airtight she could barely breathe. We're talking about legal documents with clauses that would destroy her financially, professionally, and personally if she ever spoke out. Hired through offshore contracts designed to leave no paper trail. The kind of arrangements that exist specifically to hide transactions from public scrutiny. Paid through shell companies that left no trace. Money moving through corporate entities with vague names registered in countries known for banking secrecy. The financial equivalent of a magician's misdirection. You see the transaction, but you can't see where it really comes from. She says Meghan and Harry would show up at clinics using fake names and disguises, coordinating their visits around public appearances to avoid suspicion, baseball caps, sunglasses, generic clothing, timing their arrivals when the clinics were empty, using back entrances, everything calculated to prevent recognition. She wasn't treated like a partner in creating life. She wasn't honored as someone helping a couple achieve their dreams of parenthood. She was treated like a transaction, a ghost, a biological vessel to be used, paid, and then erased from history.
Now
you why. What she told the royal family, what she told Harry, wouldn't have jived, wouldn't have been consistent with the truth.
DL lived in silence for years, bound by contracts and fear. She took the money. She played her role. She disappeared when told to disappear, until the money stopped coming. Halfway through the second pregnancy, according to her account, the payments dried up. She was left hanging, discarded like a piece of equipment that was no longer needed. And that's when something shifted in her. That's when she decided the world deserved to know what she knew. But coming forward wasn't simple. She knew what she was risking. The legal battles, the public scrutiny, the accusations of being a liar, a fraud, someone seeking attention or money. So she didn't just come forward with claims. She came prepared. Now anyone can make claims on the internet. We know this. In the age of social media, accusations fly constantly. Most of them are baseless, attention-seeking, fabricated for clicks or clout. But DL didn't just come with accusations. She came armed with documentation that made even skeptics pause. Clinic intake forms from 2018, from 2020, not vague receipts, detailed medical documents with dates that match the exact timelines of Meghan's public pregnancies. Forms with patient information redacted, but with enough detail to verify they came from legitimate medical facilities. Ultrasound images, labeled with code names, not real identities. The kind of precautions someone would take if they were trying to hide a high-profile surrogacy arrangement. Names like Project Sussex, or random alphanumeric codes instead of actual patient names. Payment records traced back to companies with no clear ownership. Financial documents showing large transfers, the kind of money you'd expect for a surrogacy arrangement, moving through corporate structures designed for opacity. The kind of financial footprints people leave when they're trying very, very hard not to be found. Email screenshots showing correspondence about appointments, procedures, and logistics. The language is carefully coded, never explicitly stating what's happening, but clear enough to anyone who knows what they're looking at. NDAs with clauses so restrictive they feel dystopian. Legal language that essentially says, you will never speak about this to anyone ever for any reason, or we will destroy you financially and legally.
Here, the doctor talks about both the children. And listen to what she says.
So you tell me to tell you something that maybe a dozen people actually know that's going to come out very soon. Okay. Meghan Markle, the reason why you watch her interviews and she just seems off. She's owned by a pharmaceutical company. The two children that she had, they're not hers. She didn't have them with Harry. And how her and Harry met is that she's apprised.
The kind of contracts used when something needs to stay hidden at all costs. She spread it all online, initially through anonymous accounts, then through websites that specialize in leaks and whistleblowing. Journalists scrambled to verify. Some parts checked out. The medical facilities existed, the dates aligned, the shell companies were real entities. Others remained murky.
I think the palace and the machinery of the monarchy needs to take Harry and Meghan more seriously and make sure that Harry and Meghan's antics don't impact the future of the crown.
Hidden behind privacy laws and sealed records. But the sheer volume of documentation, it was hard to ignore. Forensic document experts were brought in. Some confirmed the paperwork appeared legitimate. Others couldn't verify authenticity without access to original files. The ambiguity only fueled more speculation. And then DL made a move that changed everything. A challenge so bold it couldn't be ignored. She looked into the camera and said, if I'm lying, I'll take a DNA test. On live television, right now. 16 words. That's all it took. The internet imploded. Because here's someone not just making claims, but offering to prove them in the most definitive way possible. DNA doesn't lie. If she's the biological mother, it would show. If she's not, it would show that too. It was a dare, a challenge thrown directly at Meghan and Harry. Prove me wrong. Take the test with me. Show the world I'm a fraud. The silence that followed was deafening.
And when you're pregnant, there's not a pillow under your skirt. And there's live footage of her walking towards camera with her abdomen swaying left to right in a black and white checkered dress.
Here's what you need to understand about power. Silence is a strategy. When accusations fly, the powerful have options. They can deny vehemently. They can sue for defamation. They can flood the media with counter-narratives, leak favorable stories through friendly journalists, mobilize their PR teams to discredit the accuser. The royal family has done this countless times throughout history. When Princess Diana's tapes emerged, there was an immediate response. When Prince Andrew's connections to Jeffrey Epstein surfaced, statements were issued. Legal teams mobilized. Meghan and Harry, they did none of that. Not a statement, not a lawsuit, not even a carefully worded denial through their PR team or their spokesperson. Not a single word addressing DL's claims, her evidence or her DNA challenge.
In this case, about whether you think the birth was real, whether you think there was a surrogate, whether you think Meghan was wearing a moon bump, the fact is Harry and Meghan lied. Buckingham Palace lied on their behalf. There was a complete cover-up over the birth of Prince Archie.
Just silence. And that silence, it screamed louder than any denial could. The world split in half. One side claimed this was a vicious attack, a witch hunt fueled by racism and jealousy. They pointed to the history of harassment Meghan had faced, the undeniable bias in media coverage, the way she'd been treated differently than other royal family members. The other side saw the lack of denial as admission, as evidence that there was something to hide. Why wouldn't you immediately and forcefully deny such a serious accusation if it was completely false? Why wouldn't you sue? Why wouldn't you protect your children's legitimacy?
Why have they simply not made an announcement to the fact that all of the speculation about the children's arrival?
Talk shows begged DL for interviews. Major networks offered exclusive sit-downs. Tabloids offered 6 figures for her story. Social media dissected Evarys,